Hello everyone, welcome to Carrie's Crochet and Craft. It is February, what is it? February 9? 8? 7? No. 9? February 9. I really should look these things up before I get on. February 9 it is, Sunday. And I wanted to do an update for my yarn destashing for this first week of February. So I've continued this project, this challenge from January because I'm on a roll and I am using up stuff. It's a great challenge for me personally to be able to say, hey, I've used up some yarn. So it's not really about how much can I make, it's more about, you know, how much can I use up. So what did I do this week? Well, first of all, excuse me here, you guys probably remember from the last one I was working on this pink colored one, baby blanket with the tassels, lemon peel stitch there, and I had done one skein's worth for that last week of January. So it takes me about 2.5 skeins, a little more than 2.5 skeins, although with the tassels it's definitely over 2.5 skeins of the Forever Fleece. It's a pattern by Cameron's Cute Creations. Cameron's Cute Creations.shop is where you can find the pattern for this. So anyway, I finished this one and that ended up using 2 more skeins. So let's see here. Find the right ones. I guess it doesn't really matter if it's the exact ones. I just like it to be. I know it's not that one. Okay. So of course one of the skeins counted for January, the last week of January, so I have 2 skeins of this for this blanket, and then of course I had enough to make a pair of booties, and I ended up going to Amazon and finding more of those wooden buttons. I already still had some, but I wanted a wider variety, just because a lot of the buttons that so the set of buttons that I got from Temu, they were of different sizes, and so the number of 1-inch size buttons that I had, it wasn't a lot, and then there were only a few pairs of the buttons, matching buttons. So I ended up ordering more off of Amazon, and I found the exact same like package that had the same buttons in it, and so I got that one, and then I found another package that had a different style of designs on them, so I got both of those. I also got some little wooden buttons that say handmade on them, so I'll probably won't use them on the booties. Maybe if I can't find this type of button to match whatever yarn I'm using, I might use those, but I'll probably save those for another thing. So anyway, another pair of baby booties done with this as well. So that is two skeins used for that. Then I went right out and I got more Forever Fleece from my stash, and this color is Balsam, and again it used 3 skeins. So for this, I don't know if my stitch is getting looser or what. I need to compare the size of these blankets with the size of the first blankets that I made, because with this one and the pink one I didn't have as much scrap yarn left over. Like normally after making the tassels and the buttons, I have, you know, a good sized ball left for scrap yarn, but with the pink it was just very little, and then with this yarn, this color, I didn't even have enough to make 2 booties. I could only make 1 booty out of the yarn left over from this blanket, and so I did have another balsam skein, so I was able to dip into that to make the booties. So here are the booties I made from that, and that's the button that I chose. Kind of a neutral color, and I figured that button was kind of neutral as well. So anyway, that's another blanket and booties set that I did, and so that's another I'm dropping things. That's another 3 skeins right there. My stack is... Oh, here. I dropped them. So then I went back to the other Forever Fleece that I used. And... excuse me. I remembered that... Well, maybe I should just show you first. With the colors like the pink and the balsam, I didn't have enough leftover yarn to do that. But with the other colors that I did, I went back and I used that extra yarn to make up the baby hens. Oh, this one I forgot the comb on. I'll have to go back and put that on. So I actually went to Joann's. I was hoping to find, there's a poppy color that's kind of a light red, but it's definitely more red than this. This is, I forget which color it is. It's a rose color, but Joann's didn't have any of the poppy color, unfortunately. But I figured this faded pink color, the rose color, sorry, let's get you focused here, that would make a good enough color for the comb for these adorable little hens. And I lost it under the bed here. Excuse me. Okay, so I need to take that in and put the comb on. But anyway, I made tiny little hens, and yeah, so now we have, out of most of the skeins, we have a blanket, a pair of booties, and now out of 3 of them, little hens. I thought it was great that I had just enough yarn out of these to make hens. Of course, the balsam I did not, the pink I did not. Seems like, oh, I know what it was. There was a larger amount of the blue left over, so I thought I could get 2 little hens out of it, but I didn't have enough for a second hen. Okay, so after that, I had found this pattern for like a plaid baby blanket out of blanket yarn, and the colors that they used were like not tweed. It's like a variegated, but not quite variegated. I don't know what kind it was, but they used like pink and gray and another color, and then made like a plaid pattern out of it. So I kind of thought that was cute, and I had some variegated pink and red yarn, the blanket yarn, and I had a pink to match it and a red to match it, and I ended up with this. I think it's adorable. I need to tuck in the ends still, but yeah. So it's, let's see, 16 squares. No, 1, 2, 3, 4 times 5. Oh, nope. I'll get it one of these days. I think it's 25. 25 squares. And then I put them in the plaid. You know, this would be where the pink and the red meet up. So, yeah. Nice little plaid there going on. And then you go, you do like a 3 rounds for the edging. So that took quite a while. I think just the squares alone, including sewing them, probably took me 4 hours. And then the 3 rounds of the edging, of course, added another probably 45 minutes to an hour. But super cute. And the problem with this is it looks like it used up a lot of yarn, but it did. And it did, but the only skeins I used fully, I used 2 of these variegated skeins. They were the smaller, they're only the 5.3 ounce, 150 gram skeins that have 108 yards each. But I used 2 of those. So I actually have 2 more of these, and I thought about doing the same blanket again. I have more of the red yarn. It didn't even use up half of the red skein that I have. It almost used up all of the pink, and I almost considered saying, yeah, I used up the full skein of this with some scrap left over, but I decided not to count that one yet. I'll use it for another project here, maybe sometime later this month. So that is what I got done this week. So how many skeins altogether for this first week? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 skeins altogether, which is not bad. That's like a skein a day. So we're staying on target. Because last month I used almost a skein a day, which was 28. And so there's 28 days in February. So if I keep up with this, although Friday would have been the cutoff date for that. Although Saturday night, I guess Saturday night I worked a little bit on the edging of this last night. So technically for last week, I should have 8 skeins done. I almost have 8 skeins done, but anyway, another day, maybe we'll get extra ones done. So staying on target for this month. I will probably go back in and find another project to work on. I have more colors of this yarn to do. I have at least 2 more colors that I haven't done up yet for these blankets. So I want to do that, and yeah, we'll see what else I can get started on. I have so many things I want to work on, and it gets a little overwhelming, and this is why I didn't want to go through all of my yarn to show you what all I have to work through, because every time, without fail, every time I start going through all the yarn, I'm like, ooh, I want this yarn for that. I want this yarn for that. Ooh, I want to make this with this yarn. And then I start to get overwhelmed because I have like 50 different projects I want to do. And then I get stuck because which one do I start with? So I'm trying to keep that on the down low. I am not going through all of my yarn. I tend to do more of what project do I want to work on, and then get the yarn for that. It works a lot better for my brain to do that. So anyway, that's enough of that. We will see you next time for another update on the yarns destashing for 2025. We'll see you next time. Bye.